The Zephyrian Grand Fleet had conquered 17 star systems without losing a single vessel. Their crystalline ships, each the size of a small moon, had swept through the galaxy's outer rim like a tide of destruction. Admiral Kethvar stood on the bridge of his flagship, watching the scanner displays with predatory satisfaction as they approached their next target, a primitive solar system the locals called Sol. Admiral, his tactical officer chittered, mandibles clicking nervously. "We're detecting a single vessel approaching from the third planet. It appears to be small." Kethvar's four eyes narrowed as he studied the readings. The approaching ship was barely a fraction of the size of their smallest destroyer. Its hull appeared to be constructed from crude metal alloys, and its energy signature was laughably weak compared to their plasma core technology. "One ship?" Kethvar's voice carried the tone of insulted disbelief. "These humans send one pathetic craft to face the entire Grand Fleet?" The human vessel, designated UES Defiance, cut through space with surprising grace despite its compact size. On its bridge, Captain Elsa Martinez stood calm and composed, her dark eyes fixed on the massive alien formation ahead. Her tactical officer, Commander Helen Voss, was running final system checks with practiced efficiency. "Ma'am, we're severely outgunned," Helen reported, her fingers dancing across holographic displays. "Sensor readings indicate their ships are equipped with plasma weaponry and quantum shields. Our conventional weapons shouldn't even scratch their hulls." Elsa smiled grimly. "Conventional weapons, yes, but we're not carrying conventional weapons, are we?" Helen's eyes lit up with understanding. "The prototype antimatter charges and the quantum disruption cannon. Still, Captain, it's one ship against 300. "Then we'd better make it count," Elsa replied. "Open a channel to the alien fleet." Kethvar was startled when the communication request came through. No species had ever attempted to negotiate after seeing the Grand Fleet. They usually surrendered immediately or died trying to flee. "This is Captain Elsa Martinez of the United Earthship Defiance," came the transmission. The image showed a bipedal creature with smooth skin and peculiar facial hair above its mouth. "You have entered Sol system without permission. Withdraw immediately or face the consequences." The bridge of the Zephyrian flagship erupted in chittering laughter. Kethvar himself doubled over, his exoskeleton rattling with mirth. "Human," he gasped between laughs. "You pilot a ship that could fit in our waste disposal unit. We have conquered civilizations with fleets 1,000 times larger than your single vessel. What consequences could you possibly threaten us with?" Elsa's expression remained unchanged. "We are humanity's consequences. You have 30 seconds to begin your withdrawal." Kethvar's amusement turned to irritation. "Destroy that insolent insect. All ships open fire." 300 ships unleashed their plasma batteries simultaneously. The space between the fleets lit up like a newborn star as concentrated energy beams converged on the tiny human vessel. When the light faded, the Defiance hung in space completely unharmed, surrounded by a shimmering energy barrier. "Impossible," Kethvar breathed. "Their shields shouldn't be able to withstand that much firepower." On the Defiance, Helen was already charging their weapons. "Captain, their plasma is actually feeding our shield matrix. The energy absorption is beyond our projections." "Humans learn fast," Elsa said quietly. "We've been studying the wreckage of your attacks on the Centauri colonies for months. Every weapon you've ever used, we've found a counter for." She paused. "Fire at will." The quantum disruption cannon was a weapon born from humanity's greatest strength, the ability to turn any discovery into a tool of war. Instead of trying to overpower the alien shields with brute force, it targeted the quantum frequency that held their crystalline hulls together at the molecular level. The first shot seemed anticlimactic. A thin beam of distorted space lanced out from the Defiance and touched the nearest Zephyrian destroyer. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the destroyer simply came apart. Its crystalline structure dissolved like sugar in rain, releasing a cloud of glittering dust where a ship had been moments before. Kethvar's confidence evaporated. "Evasive maneuvers. All ships. Scatter formation." But the Defiance was no longer alone. As if materializing from nothing, Dozens of human ships dropped out of stealth around the alien fleet. Each one was small, fast, and equipped with the same quantum disruption technology. You see, Elsa's voice came through the communications. Array as Zephyrian ships began dissolving throughout the formation. We humans have a saying, speak softly and carry a big stick. The stick isn't always about size, Admiral. Sometimes it's about knowing exactly where to hit. Helen coordinated the fleet's attacks with surgical precision. Target their command ships first. Without central coordination, they'll fall into panic. The human ships moved like wolves among sheep. Their quantum weapons reached out and touched ship after ship, each contact resulting in another crystalline giant crumbling into cosmic dust. The Zephyrian return fire proved useless against the humans' adaptive shielding, which seemed to grow stronger with each attack. Within minutes, half the Grand Fleet was gone. "Admiral," Kethvar's communications officer screamed. "They're not just destroying our ships, they're learning from each attack. Their targeting is becoming more efficient." Kethvar watched in horror as his supposedly invincible armada disintegrated. Around him, these weren't just weapons the humans were using. They were instruments of precise annihilation designed by minds that saw war as a science to be perfected. "Retreat," he finally screamed. "Full retreat. Jump to hyperspace immediately." "I'm afraid we can't allow that." Elsa's voice cut through their panic. The remaining Zephyrian ships found their jump drives completely inoperative. "We've been broadcasting a quantum interference field since the engagement began. No one leaves until we're finished here." The massacre continued for another 10 minutes. When it ended, only Kethvar's flagship remained intact, its weapon systems destroyed and its shields collapsed. "This is impossible," Kethvar whispered, staring at the debris field that had once been the pride of his species. "No single species could possess such technology." "You're right," Elsa replied. "No single species could. But we didn't develop this alone. Every civilization you've destroyed, every planet you've conquered, every species you've enslaved, they all left behind knowledge. Refugees who escaped your genocides brought their science to us. We've spent the last decade combining their expertise with human engineering." The truth hit Kethvar like a physical blow. "You're not just one species, you're an alliance." "We're more than that," Elsa said. "We're what happens when you push humanity too far. When you threaten our friends, our neighbors, our future. We don't just fight back, we become the nightmare that hunts the things that hunt in the dark." As Kethvar's flagship was tractored toward Earth for what would be a very long interrogation, he realized the Zephyrian Empire's greatest mistake hadn't been underestimating human weapons or technology. They had underestimated human memory. And humans, he was learning, never forgot their dead.